Hey everyone, it's Zip. I'm here to talk about rockets today. Rockets that take you away from Mother Earth. We call her Mother Earth because she gives birth. All the time. I mean, in springtime, that's like kind of blatantly obvious, like you have all the animals running around and all the buds coming out of there, you know, like coming out of the little green thing around the bud. I don't know what that's called. But like even in the winter time, I feel like I see Mother Earth giving birth, like especially like a big river coming out of a valley. Like it's all birth thing too. But there's also this deeper kind of birth that's a big part of what Mother Earth is all about, and that's like the birth of evolution and coevolution. Like Mother Earth is our womb as a species, and we co-evolved with all these other species around us that support us, and we support them, or at least we used to. All the trees that bear fruit, and the plants that we can eat, the animals that we hunt. It's like it's all part of this co-evolved ecosystem that is where we came from. It's our mother. Years ago, James Lovelock and a biologist named Lynn Margulis worked together to write a book about Mother Earth and about how she is this kind of cohesive organism that supports all of the life and species on her surface. And they named that book Gaia, and they named, they named the organism, they named Mother Earth Gaia. And where did they come up with the name Gaia? They didn't make that up. That had been around for a couple of thousand years. Gaia is the name of the first Greek goddess. And many people don't know that. I remember learning in elementary school, like, Zeus is the guy that started it all. But he's a guy, and in fact he was actually just a grandson of Gaia. Gaia was Mother Earth. And Gaia herself gave birth, or probably like parted with, Uranus, who became the god of the sky. So he was the male counterpart, the sky part. And she and he then had some kids, and then those kids eventually had Zeus. So here we are, like this male culture we live in. It's incredible. Like so our male culture can't even acknowledge that the first goddess was a goddess. Instead, we have to reach down to a violent male to be the symbol of the top. Anyway, I'm going to leave that behind for a second. Water and earth are often conceived of as a single feminine entity. And sky is the maleness. Uranus was the god of sky. But, you know, even though male is like there's yin and yang, right? Yin is female, yang is male. Like, even though the yang is usually perceived as or described as sky, like, I always think of male as, I don't think of it so much like sky. I tend to think of it as engineering. I feel like that's what men are good at is the creating stuff that takes humanity or takes themselves above or away from Earth. I mean, so in a way, yeah, I mean, that's why it's consistent with sky. But like they're engineers, and they're great at making shit like clocks and cars and pens and all kinds of stuff that isn't Earth, that isn't the fluid, but instead is the engineered. There's all these engineers on YouTube that make all sorts of crazy shit. Like, here's this guy culling furs.
Now you can go on. That's a bit more like it. just need you to stay there now. Clampy, clampy. Oh, look at it.
Whoa! But after I saw a few videos, I kind of got used to it. I was like, oh, there's a way, there's some deep way in which he gets the connection between masculinity, male sexuality, and engineering. Like he's got it all put together. Among all the things that men make, nothing is a better man thing than a rocket. I mean, that is the ultimate engineering project. It goes to the sky. It's really challenging to build, to engineer. It's spectacular when it blows up. And best of all, it's a penis. I mean, a penis with thrust and everything. The biggest rocket men ever built is the Saturn V. That giant penis was built to send men to the moon. And on the way to getting there, NASA did some tests. So one of those tests was called Apollo 8. The first time they launched that Saturn V and got men all the way to the moon and back. But they didn't land, right? So they went up to the moon, they circled around a couple of times, and then they came back. It was like a test. It's like, can we get there? Can we get back? Check. Next time we'll land, right? That's what they were doing. Seems like a smart idea. Anyway, at the time, according to those 3 astronauts who were on top of that Saturn V when it left Earth, they, nor anyone at NASA, nor anyone else they were working with, was thinking about the core experience that they were going to have of seeing Mother Earth from afar. For the first time, being humans who saw the great blue marble hanging in space.
Hey, I've got it right here. Let me get up this a lot clearer. Bill, I got it framed. It's very clear right here. You got it? Yep.
Take several of them.
Take several of them. Here, give it to me.
Wait a minute, let me just get the right setting here. Now, just calm down, Bubble.
Oh, I got it right. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. 250 at F11.
So what did we bring back from Apollo 8? We brought back seeing the singularness, the oneness, and the fragility of Mother Earth. And it seems like we should have stopped there. You know, mission accomplished. That was what we needed. We're in an emergency. We need to take care of the fragile blue marble that we discovered 50 years ago. And we ain't doing it. As a matter of fact, the men that run this planet continue to dream about their rockets taking them to other places, often to escape or expand human civilization beyond the matricide that we're leaving behind here. And the hubris of that. Like a lot of this comes with these dreams of terraforming Mars, like creating an Earth-like surface on that planet of red dust. The hubris of that. So in the early 90s, there was this rich man named, what was his name? Ed Bass. Ed Bass. He was a Texas oil tycoon, and he had dreams of putting people on Mars. So he built this thing called Biosphere 2. It was like a few acres big, these big glass domes. Nothing could go through the domes except sunlight. So the idea was you create this self-sustaining ecosystem underneath the domes, sealed off from the outside, proving that yes, we can create a human inhabitable ecosystem on Mars. And then they put 8 people in there, sealed them up for 2 years, and they did survive until 2 years were up, but not without an emergency injection of oxygen, nearly starving, a cockroach infestation, and they had separated into 2 factions of 4 people each that hated each other. Sound familiar? I mean, and then the whole thing in the end, it all blew up in like lawsuits and management changes and protection orders and vandalism. You can read about it on the internet. It's pretty spectacular. It's like if it proved anything, it proved how completely unready we are to do something like populate Mars. It can't even take care of this planet. It can't even take care of our womb, let alone go create some other place up there. And yet, all these men continue to dream about sending rockets up there. Take Elon Musk, for instance. The guy who first got rich with PayPal, and now he's making electric cars at Tesla. But what does he really want to do with his extra money? He wants to build rockets! Anyway, so Elon Musk called his company SpaceX. SpaceX has the mission to enable humans to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species by building a self-sustaining city on Mars. Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon.com, number 5 on the Fortune 500 list of the wealthiest companies in America, a list that contains 466 other companies run by men. Anyway, what does Jeff Bezos want to do with his extra money? Build rockets! So his company is called Blue Origin. Think of the irony that, this is what I'm talking about. This is the Blue Origin. Anyway, so the mission statement for his company, Blue Origin, committed to building a road to space so our children can build the future. It's exhausting for me to talk about this stuff. It makes me really angry and disgusted. Now I'm going to show you his rocket. Now tell me when you watch this, just tell me that you don't see a perfectly proportioned, nicely circumcised penis entering the sky.